In today's video, I want to share with you the 4 elements that's going to change your health, hopefully for a lasting long time. And those 4 elements start with letters, and I'm going to categorize those into 4 categories, and each category, you cannot live without each category. It's just no way around it. And first category is your lifestyle. Based on your lifestyle, it's going to determine how your health and your well-being is. When I talk about lifestyle, I'm talking about smoking, whether it's cigars, cigarettes, and even secondhand smoke. This affects your life dramatically. Caffeine, nicotine are addictives. Caffeine, nicotine is an addiction, just like ice cream. I had an ice cream addiction a few years ago, and once I realized that the sugar intake, the fat intake that was in that ice cream, I just stopped cold turkey. Now I know that a lot of you, or some of you, who may have nicotine addictions or smoking addictions, you can't just stop cold turkey, and that's fine. But what you can do is you can begin the process to start. If you smoke once a day, you can smoke maybe every other day. You know, I'm not advocating smoking at all, period. And secondhand smoke is just as bad, if not worse. When we have spouses who are smoking, when we have family members who are smoking, when we have friends who are smoking, when we're at the job, we're hanging around people who are smoking. They're taking smoke breaks, right? We are ingesting all of that smoke. So it is no different than smoking your own cigarette or ingesting the secondhand smoke. They're both bad. And so later down the road, what can this cause? All sorts of health problems, cancers, we already know. The research has been done for many, many, many years, and we know. So that's lifestyle. The second part of lifestyle is sedentary. You're sitting all the time. You sit while you're at work. You sit when you eat your meals at home. You sit and you watch movies or TVs. You sit in the car when you're driving from destination to destination. You sit at gatherings and more gatherings, right? So it's so important that we get up and we move our body. This is a part of our everyday lifestyle. It should be. And so when we don't move, what happens? Our muscles get tight. Our joints start to ache. And before you know it, we're limping and we can't walk. Why? Because we're not getting the exercises that our body needs. We have to move the body. That's part of the lifestyle. This next part of the lifestyle is who you choose to be around on a regular basis. Who are your friends? Who are your family members that are either lifting you up or tearing you down? This is lifestyle. This is your social part of your lifestyle. You need a healthy, vibrant lifestyle with friends and family and neighbors that you are proud to be around, to talk to socialize with, because otherwise this is going to cause an effect on our entire health and our well-being. Over the years, it happens. And so that was category number 1. Category number 2 is, I just said it, exercise. There's no way around being able to move our body if we're in that position. When we are able to move our bodies, we have to move our bodies. Now, I'm not talking about the ones who are limited, that might be in a wheelchair or something like that. That's not what I'm talking to. Those of us who are physically able to move our bodies on a regular basis, and we don't because we choose not to. And this is causing more problems on our health and our well-being than pretty much anything else. Because if we're eating healthy, but we're not getting the exercise, it's not doing us any good, right? So exercise, that is category number 2. Category number 3 is our attitude, our mindset. How we look at life, how we look at our health, how we look and view other people, how we look at anything that's happening in our life. This is affecting our health in a negative or a positive way. And we can choose which way we want to be, which way we want to go. Do we want to go the healthy route? Do we want to go the negative route? I mean, there's so many choices that we have. And I like to call this the Freedom of Choice Award. We have the choice to choose. That is a blessing to be able to choose what kind of lifestyle we want. What kind of health do we want? What kind of friends or social life do we want? Where do we want to live? We have a plethora of choices. And not everybody have those choices, unfortunately. So we have a choice to live healthy or unhealthy. And we can't blame it on the world, right? I look at the countries and the states that have blue zones. Loma Linda, California has a blue zone, which is an area where people live until they're in their 90s, until they're in their hundreds. And why is this? It's because of the lifestyle that they chose, the food that they choose to eat or not. And most of these centenarians and these blue zone area where people living, they eat mostly plants, plant-based meals, the Mediterranean diets. They get exercise, they have social lives. And this is what we need, right? You know, lately I've been following for probably the past 2 or 3 years of people in the US exiting, going to other countries to have a better quality of life, better food, a reasonable rate to live. However, that not going to make a difference if you have not adopted that lifestyle in your own country. Because you have to think about this. You can have a healthy lifestyle in your own country before you move somewhere else. The thing is you have to figure out, where can I buy the most healthiest food to put in my body? Where can I find the most social healthy connections that I can connect with people on a regular basis? Right? Where is my lifestyle in the US while I'm here before I start to flee to another country? And there's nothing wrong with that, because in fact, I've been looking into it myself, right? And it's not because I don't personally have a healthy lifestyle. Maybe I want another healthier lifestyle around beaches and mountains. And we have that in the US too, depending on what state you live in, right? So we have a choice, which is a beautiful thing. And some of these blue zone countries are Italy, Costa Rica. What else? I already said Loma Linda, California. There's 2 others. I'm trying to think. Yeah, Italy, Costa Rica, Loma Linda, California, and Okinawa, Japan. So these blue zone countries and states, they have decided that they want a certain lifestyle. That's number 1, the lifestyle. Where is it that you want to start your lifestyle, or end your lifestyle for that matter? Where is it? What country, what state that you want to enjoy and have end your lifestyle? Where is it? That's a decision that you have to make, right? So I said L. L is for lifestyle. E is for exercise. The next one, attitude. What is your daily attitude like? When you wake up in the morning, are you angry? Are you confused that you woke up? You don't know which way you want to go? What is your attitude like? How are you treating others? How are you treating yourself first? How are you treating your spouse? How are you treating your kids, your grandkids? How are you treating your neighbors? Your attitude on life. Are you despising the fact that you have to go to that job? Are you despising the fact that you have to live where you're living right now? Well, what I've come to learn at my age, in my 60s, is that we have to learn how to accept where we are and change all the things that we can change. If we cannot change anything, then pray about everything until that change comes. That's what I've learned to implement into my daily life until that change comes, whatever that change is that I want, right? And I know this probably sounds woo-woo to some of you, but this is what's going to change the trajectory of your health and well-being. It's going to reverse your illness. It's going to reverse your disease. It's going to reverse those joint pains. It's going to do so many beautiful things for your health and your well-being when you adapt these 4 categories. So that was category number 3. Category number 4 is nutrition. And you know I could not leave out nutrition, right? Nutrition, this medicine is the key to healing everything that you can think of. Now, let me step back and say, if you have something going on in your body with your health and you've waited maybe until it's, way far advanced or whatever, then I still believe in miracles. I do. I think that when we talk about diabetes, when we talk about heart disease, when we talk about high blood pressure, chronic illness, chronic fatigue, chronic stress, there is something in the nutritional realm that is going to heal your body. Our bodies were made to heal naturally on its own. Our internal being is a medicinal machine, which means that when we eat more plants, when we eat more fruits, we can just about kill anything inside of our body that does not need to be there, right? This is why plants, greens, and vegetables have so many antioxidants inside of them, so many anti-inflammatories, right? Antiviral properties inside of them. This is why when you research and you do your research, it is ingrained in every research that I've seen. Plants, fruits and plants, fruits and plants, fruits and plants. Why is that? Because they contain a plethora of antioxidants, anti-inflammatories, antiviral properties, right? Anything that's inside of us that does not need to be in us, those foreign invaders, those toxins, these plants and these fruits can go after them and get rid of them through our poop and our pee. So we have to ingrain in our brain more plants, more fruits, right? And then added to that, we need the fiber to help everything push out the liver. Clean out that liver, because our liver gets overbearing, overtoxicated, if that's a word, and it does not know what to do. Our little liver. And how do we overburden our liver with too much unhealthy fats and trans fats? Wrong drinks. Alcohol is another one. Too much alcohol, too much red meat. I have read study after study after study after study, and every study that I've read, when you're trying to remove some kind of illness, some kind of disease, it reverts right back to more plants, eating fruits, eating plants, eating fruit. Get more dietary fiber. How do we get our fiber? We get our fiber from fruits. We get our fiber from lean protein, like poultry. We get our no, I'm sorry, we don't get our fiber from poultry. We get our fiber from lentils and beans, legumes, right? And if you have to do meat, make sure the meat is lean, no fat. The fat is what's getting us. All of this fat we're eating is adding to us and making us unhealthy, right? We got to get rid of the fat. If you have to do it, do lean, grass-fed beef. The studies that I've read say remove red meat. I'm sorry. It just does. Every study that I've seen, remove the red meat. If you have to do meat, do poultry, chicken, right? And if you do the chicken, you make sure that it's from a reputable source, whatever type. But stay off of the processed meats like sausage, bacon. All of this is sodium packed. Sodium is killing us. And I got a video coming up on that sodium, how to choose, where to get it. But I'm saying our nutrition is so key. And safe, then sorry. This is why I have implemented, and still to this day, my go-to meal is the Mediterranean diet, the Mediterranean plan, the Mediterranean lifestyle living. That's what I call it, the Mediterranean lifestyle living. It's a lifestyle. Why? Because the Mediterranean diet, the world calls it, it has every fruit, vegetable, bean, fiber. It incorporates everything, meat, everything. When you do your meat, of course, you are going to want to minimize how much animal products you do, right? This is how the centenarians are able to live in their 90s, their 100s, and beyond. They're climbing mountains, they're jumping rope, they're walking, they're socializing. You know, and I keep referring back to my aunt, my great aunt. She was like my mom. She passed away in 2020 at 97 years old, and she was never sick. I've never seen her in the hospital. She broke her back when she was in her 80s, and when I took her to the doctor, they wanted to put her in a brace and they wanted to give her all these meds. She said no. We came home with a brace. She wore that brace one day and she said, "Sweetie, I don't want to wear that brace anymore." I said, "Okay." And guess what? She kept working. When she retired from her regular job, I think she was in her 60s, she kept working. She socialized. She hung out with the people in her community. She volunteered, right? Her thing was to always give food away. That was her thing. That made her happy. She would give her a shirt if she could. So we have to think about, how can we better our communities? First, better ourselves. How can we better our communities? How can we be social beings in our communities, making a difference? This is all a part of healthy living. And L.E.A.N, lifestyle, exercise, your attitude, and your nutrition. It stands for lean. Lean into this cause of living, this lifestyle of living, and I promise you, you're going to see a difference. It's not one time, it's a lifetime. It's not one day, it's every day. It's not 1 year, it's until you leave this earth. It's how you have to eat and plan and enjoy your life. And I guarantee you, you're going to make a difference, you're going to see a difference, and you're going to feel different. All right? That's what this video was about today. It was about leaning in, living a healthier lifestyle. It's about educating, exercising, educating yourself on how you can implement more plants, more plants, more plants, more veggies, 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 fruits, 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 legumes, beans, whole grains, and all of these things that's going to be beneficial to our bodies. Think about the rainbow when you are sitting down at a restaurant. Think about the rainbow when you are preparing a meal at home. When you have a rainbow plate, that means that you have everything that you need in a way of a vitamin within that meal, right? Whether it's tomatoes, whether it's carrots, whether it's oranges, whether it's lemons. We want to think about the vitamin aspect inside of each category of those meals that we're eating, right? So think about that rainbow. I hope this video helped you. This has been on my mind, and I know I have so many different ways that I want to help you and try to get you on track. We are embarking upon 2026, ladies and gentlemen, if there's any. We really are. And don't go into 2026 saying, I want to do better. I want to feel better. I want to be healthier. Start today, not tomorrow. Tomorrow's not promised. Start your journey today. It's for you. Not your friends, not your mom, not your grandparents. It's for you, right? This is for you. Do this for you. 2026 is for you to do you when it comes to your health and your well-being. Until next time, this is Coach Renee, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.